All perfect. So welcome. This is Bariatric Yoga, and I'm Tracy, and I'm so glad that everyone has set aside some time for themselves to just take care of one's own self. What a concept. We spend so much time running around caring for others that I forget that I need to take care of myself. So, in thinking about this class today, I remembered myself as a yoga practitioner, that it has been 3 weeks since I have practiced my own self. So I'm so grateful to be here. We're going to start. I'm going to begin by, if you're here in the studio, just come around with a little squirt to invite the senses. So if you're interested, just hold your palms out and I'll put a little spray here as to not make your hands slick. It's orange and peppermint. Orange to relax and peppermint to lift the spirit in case you've had a long day. So if you're not, keep your palm down. And I encourage you to just wave it around and let it just flow and just awaken that sense of smell and begin to perhaps even close off the eyes. I'm going to give myself a squirt, and April will pretend that you got a little squirt, and a big deep breath in and a very generous exhale out. And yogis, an invitation to close off the eyes and just allow the shoulders to begin to relax and allow the body to soften here into this space. You may have been in a hurry to get here. But we are not in a hurry now. I've heard it said that to be in a hurry means you don't want to be where you currently are. And I do want to be right here. We're going to begin our practice on our backs, or if you're better upright in a chair, that's fine too. But if you want to join me supine on your back, we're going to start there. And an invitation to just roll one vertebra at a time, all the way down to your mat. And allow gravity to just take over. If you're in a seated position, all of the same cueing apply. Just know that that is what yoga is, cueing, an opportunity for you and for me to practice, quieting the mind while focusing in on movement and breath of the body. So continuing with our breath work to start our yoga practice. Sometimes it's a scripted breathing practice, but tonight I thought just breathing on your own and paying attention to that. Breathing in and allowing the chest cavity, the heart space, Anaranjada, your heart chakra to just expand on the inhales. And on your exhales, really just breathing out everything that you might have brought with you to this practice. With your own rhythm of breath. Following the breath through your body as it enters and also as it exits the body. And if the mind begins to wander away from the breath, just very gently with compassion, coming back to the breath and beginning to follow it once again. In this space, this softening, this letting go, setting an intention, a satna, an I am statement for your practice, the rest of our time together, something to return to when your mind does wander. I am bold. I am here. I am happy. You come up with your own. Sometimes mine aren't even true, but the more that I speak them throughout my practice, the more I walk away feeling that I am. We'll begin some movement by sending our arms high overhead, even on the ground. But if you're in a seated position, a big deep breath in, Ardha Hastasana, or upward salute, even on the floor. A big stretch, perhaps even full body if you're on the floor. Sending the arms and the feet both long and tall. Big stretch of movement here. And then on the exhale, bringing the feet and the soles of the feet back to the ground, and the knees will come together to touch. We're going to send the arms up high in the sky. So if you're in a seated position, they should be out in front of you. We're going to hold them there for some strength, keeping in touch with the breath. Holding here, we're going to focus in on a beautiful energy lock we can create in our own body. Focusing in on our own muscles, tucking our belly button into our spine, especially on the ground. You'll notice it takes this natural curve out of the round of the back. So you'll find that your spine automatically touches the ground. If you're in a chair, you might notice that it touches the back of the chair. And then if you pull the pelvic floor sort of up to meet this area, you create this sort of like drawstring effect, this energy lock in the very center of your body. So already I'm creating muscle strength in my arms because they're being held out against gravity, and this beautiful energy lock here in the center of my body, all without any weights at all. And on an exhale, just let your hands gently come to rest at your side, holding on to that energy lock that you've created. And now allowing some pressure. And if you're in a seat, just stay right where you are. If you're on the ground, we're going to push up for bridge pose, one vertebra at a time, lifting off the ground, allowing the full weight of your body to roll into your shoulders, not onto the neck. Noticing that you're holding on to, or maybe you've let go of that energy lock, coming back to it. And then gently lowering back down with intention. See if you can tap each vertebra as you head down to the ground. And then release that energy lock. And then once again, yogis, you can do this at your own pace. Holding that energy lock and being very intentional about your bridge pose. Picking up the pace if you like to maybe create this as more of a cardio workout. If you would like for it to be more of a mindful exercise, then slowing it down. Yogi's choice. We'll take about 30 seconds. If you're in a chair or a seated position on the floor at home, just using the opportunity to do hand motions. Rising up on the in-breath and lowering down on the exhale. It's an inhale to lift and exhale to lower back down. And then when you're ready, just finding some stillness. We're going to begin by sending our right leg up high to the sky for some leg exercises. If you're in a chair, sending your right leg straight out does the exact same thing. Remember to listen to your body, yogis. Anything that's painful means don't go there. Simply just take a breath. If this is tiresome at all, reaching behind the leg for some support is always helpful. Some ankle rolls, rolling the ankle one way, back the other. This is such a fantastic inversion, especially if you are on your feet all day long. This automatically works with gravity, creating the blood flow in an opposite direction. If you ever get home and your ankles are swollen, send your feet high to the sky. If you rolled your ankle in one direction, please go back. Returning to your breath whenever you feel frustrated. And when you're ready, gently unclasp your hand if you had used it, lowering the leg back down. And then sending the left leg up high to the sky. And some ankle rolls for the left ankle. I can remember recently being very ill and doing simple exercises like this and just reminding myself how healthy this is for my body. Simple exercises that invert the blood flow, so healthy. If you roll your ankle one way, yogis, take the time for yourself to go in the other direction. Take a big deep breath in. And when you're ready, gently lower your leg down. Take a moment and notice how your legs feel. If you're holding on to any tension in your shoulders, take a big round of breath, and on your exhale, let it go. And then create that energy lock that we talked about, taking the round of your spine out, and then use that energy lock to send both legs high to the sky. Waterfall pose. Use that core strength. This is much more difficult if you're in a chair. If you're in a seated position, you have the ground. But if you're off the ground, this is a very difficult position to. So please know you're working harder than the rest of us. Gently lowering both legs back down whenever you're ready. And then coming to a seated position, you can wrap your hands behind your legs and roll up, or place your hands behind you, scoop yourself up. And just some gentle leg stretches. If you're in a chair, perfect. Just reaching your legs as far as they can possibly go. If you're in a chair, might just be something as gentle as this. Just walking the hands from one, we'll head to the right first. So taking the hands one on each side of the leg. Keeping in mind, in yoga, we grow tall on every inhale breath, and we want to keep the spine as straight as possible. So the rotation happens here at the hips, and then it's a generous hinge at the hips until I feel the resistance that happens. And that's as far as I need to go. And then I just return my mind to my breath. On the inhale, I'm going to grow tall with my spine. And the exhale is an invitation to deepen a little bit into the stretch, maybe just 1%. And then a beautiful inhale breath, which sends oxygen to the muscle that's screaming at me a little bit right now. The exhale allows me to deepen the stretch by maybe 0.5%. And I might just hold right there. And then when you're ready, walking your hands back up so that the spine is in a neutral position. And then turning to the opposite leg. So it doesn't matter, as long as we take care of both sides. Gently walking the fingertips down after you've rotated, rotating first. Keeping the spine nice and straight. Inhaling the breath, almost visualizing it, sending it down to this large hamstring muscle. I am bold. That Satnam might get me in trouble tomorrow. And when you're ready, just gently walking back up. We're going to head forward for a wide-legged forward fold. Yogis, before you head down, take a big deep breath in. Send yourself high to the sky. I've been 5'3.5" my whole life, and I went to the doctor and they told me I was 5'4.5", and I thought, it's the yoga. Inhale, breath, and on the exhale, just begin to gently walk yourself forward just a little bit. If you're in a chair, taking some deep breath in, sending your crown of your head high to the sky. And on your exhale, just deepen into your seat. Enjoy this quiet time. Yogis, once you get to a place where you feel good about this wide-legged forward fold, just walk around for a minute down on the ground. Use your hands as resistance. It's a push and a pull. An ebb and a flow. The beauty of yoga. Walk to the right. Maybe placing one hand on top of the other. Head to the left. What does it feel like in your body? Pay attention. When you're ready, returning yourself to your forward fold in your neutral position, and then gently walking yourself back up. placing your hands behind you for some support, pulling your feet together, knees together, maybe windshield wiper out your knees. And we're going to head into a cat-cow. That can be done from a seated position or from a table position. So yogi's choice. If you're in a table position, I'll cue that. I'll show you also what it looks like if you're in a seated position. We'll start by dropping the belly or pushing the belly forward and taking a beautiful look up to the sky. If you're in a seated position, your hands can be used on your knees for a little extra push and pull. And then on an exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, push away from the earth. Using again, if you're in a seated position, the push and the pull that can happen with the knees and the hands. Inhale, breath, drop the belly, push the belly out, chest is high, looking up to the sky. Inhale, breath. Exhale, pushing out, round the spine, really getting the juices of the spinal cord flowing all around it. Inhale, breath. And yogis, once you start warming the spine up like this, just begin some organic movement. Whatever feels good to you. It's pretty rare. I was going to say we never move around like this, but on occasion, I guess. But today, at this moment, you've taken the time. So while in this position, move around where it feels so good. Just stop for a minute and push into that. Breathe into. Stop for a minute. Check in with your sadhana. When you're in a good place, find some stillness. If you're in table, we're going to tuck our toes and head for downward dog. If you're in a seated position in a chair, you can go ahead and make your way to a standing position. If you're finding downward dog with me, our hips are high. The head is found in between your elbows. We're using the entire circumference of our palms, pushing down into the mat. This inversion pose really begins to incorporate the whole body. It might feel good to walk the palms of the feet, tippy toes to heel, tippy toe to heel. And when you're ready, just walk the feet forward to meet the hands and hang out for a minute in a forward fold. If you're in a standing position, meet us in a forward fold. If you can, we're going to hinge at the hips and just dropping down a nice generous bend at the knees. It might feel good too to grab a couple of blocks to stack up high so you can bring the ground a little closer to you. Around. I love it when I can move the earth closer to me. So if you're in a forward fold, just really letting everything go here. A generous bend in the knee. Let the day just drop right out of your head. Crisscrossing at the arms might feel good. If you feel like you've got a good stable position, just hanging out here for a second.
I can feel the weight of my body begin to head down towards my shoulders. Letting the day just dump right out onto the floor. On an inhale breath, we're going to come halfway to a lift, giving a neutral spine that's parallel to the ground. Just give the body a chance to neutralize. And then on an exhale breath, head back down to the forward fold. And then inhale, we're going to root to rise, come all the way up, nice and slowly. Bring the hands wide and high, all the way up. Palms will come to touch at the top. Our Ardha Hastasana, our upward salute. And then we'll bring them down to rest at our sides for mountain pose, Tadasana. And we'll try someone told me the other day, there's no such thing as trying. You either do or you don't. I said, okay, well, let's do it. So we're going to do tree pose. We're not going to try it. We're going to do this. We'll start by planting the left foot into the earth. Maybe just kick toe. Is that a word? Or just kick. We're going to kickstand this right foot to give ourselves a little bit of balance. That energy lock we talked about in the center of the body is very helpful for tree pose. Finding a stationary spot, a drishti, a gaze, and just placing the foot on the ankle might be enough for me today. If you're feeling a little spicy, bringing it up right here onto the calf. Oh, we got some spicy people in here. If you're really feeling froggy, bringing it all the way up to the thigh. Never on the knee. You might knock it right out of joint. And then that's no bueno. So up here for true frogginess. And then falliness. Always for me. So tree on the left side. And then whatever you want to do with your hands. Yes, I love it. We've got some beautiful trees in here. Just letting your limbs go. And yogis, whenever you're ready, sending your right foot back down to the earth to grow some roots. And mountain pose once again, Tadasana. And then finding some firm ground for your right foot. Big deep breath in. And then planting your kickstanding, starting the left foot. Where would you like for it to go? Yogi's choice. And then when you're ready, decide where you would like it to be. And then everyone has a good side and a bad side. Although I try not to label things good and bad. It is what it is. My balance is different on one side versus the other. So yogi's choice, where you would like to put your foot. And where you would like your branches to go. Anything that you do right now, you are doing for yourself. Biggest challenge yet is to close off the eyes and see if gravity doesn't take you down. I can't do it. Whenever you're ready, yogis, just planting both feet back on the ground. And then giving your feet a little distance between them, about shoulder or hip width apart. We're gonna pick up some energy. So a big generous bend in the knees. We're gonna, on an exhale breath, we're gonna reach down with both of our hands
And we're going to scoop up a big ball of energy, and we're going to lift it up on an inhale breath. And as soon as we lift up this big ball of energy to about, let's say the sight of our eyes, we're going to then, on an exhale breath, push the energy back down into the earth. And once it's down there, we're going to scoop up some more energy on an inhale breath, slowly lifting it back up. And on an exhale breath, slowly pushing it back down into the ground. Awesome job. Inhale breath one more time. Last time, make it count. Nice and slow. And then pushing it back down into the ground. And then gently returning to mountain pose. Awesome. This time we're going to send our arms wide, east and west, and exhale breath. Inhale, we're going to expand the chest. The energy is going to grow big. And on an exhale breath, we're going to gather it up like a beach ball. And then on an inhale breath, we're going to expand the ball, let it go. Chest goes wide, full of oxygen and air. And then on an exhale breath, blow it all out and gather the beach ball. Good. Inhale breath, open it up. Last time. Gathering all that oxygen. And then push it all out. Gather your beach ball, wrap your arms around it. Awesome. And then drop the ball. Put your hands at your side, mountain pose to dust. Awesome. And then gently, we're going to make our way all the way back down to the ground for Shavasana. Shavasana, corpse pose, our resting pose. So yogis, you have done it. You made time for yourselves. What a gift that you've given to yourself. Sit back, relax. If you have something to close off the light, if you have eye pillow, something to help with just a moment of relaxation. The most important part of our yoga practice is to take the practice of the breath, the movement of the body, and incorporate the two. And we do that in Shavasana. So laying in corpse pose. Closing off the eyes. Allowing the feet to flop open to both sides. We say palms up if you need to give off some energy because you still feel so excited. Or palms down if maybe you're drained and you're in need of some vital energy from Mother Earth. And a big deep breath in to check in with your own self. First with your Satnam. Then sending breath all the way down to the tips of your toes. Checking in there, wrapping your mind's eye, ajna, around your feet, your ankles. Noticing any sensations that are happening there. No judgment. Just notice. If there's any pain, just recognizing it. And then moving on to the calves, the muscles there. Coming back to the breath. Sending breath to the knees. Noticing anything that may be going on there. Moving up to the thighs. Large muscle groups there. Noticing how they feel, any sensation, not judging. And if your mind is wandering away, just come back to the breath with compassion. Staying present is a gift and a true practice. Taking your mind now to your hips, your solar plex area, all the vital organs that are found there. Gratitude for all the work they do without ever being asked. Big, deep breaths, sending oxygen to them. And a generous exhale of gratitude. Sending your mind to your heart space, your lungs. Your shoulders. All the way down to the tips of your fingers. Wrapping your mind around each and every one of your fingers, your thumbs, around your wrists, up your forearms, your elbows, your biceps, all the way up your neck. Noticing any tension that may still be there. Not judging it, just noticing it. Noticing your ears, any sensations there. Your cheekbones, your nose, your eyes, any light that may be coming in. Your forehead, any gestures that it may be holding on to. Letting that go. Your lips, your teeth, your tongue, how it's resting in your mouth, your chin, all the way back up to the very crown of your head. Picturing a beautiful white light, sending that white light all the way back down your body. knowing that any feeling of peace, calm, relaxation that you have right now, you can bring with you for the rest of today and bring into your life at any moment. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes, beginning to blink your eyes open, even a gentle smile on your face. We'll take one last deep breath together, extending the fingertips long wherever you are. Big inhale breath, sending the arms wide and high to the sky. Palms come to touch at the top, staying together, bringing the palms to stop at the forehead, our third eye, for good positive thoughts. Stopping at the lips for good, kind words. And then tucking our thumbs here into our heartbeat. Our true life force, our breath. Please know the light in me bows and honors the light in me. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.